proceeded to show the picture around to a few people. Eventually, over the next couple of years, somewhere I misplaced that picture or lost it. And I started to talk to certain people of certain groups in up in Wisconsin from a certain organization, talking about God, having the visitation and what I was talking about, which is in the book about the conversation I had with God for his appearance. I was talking about what will happen in the future. Will there be a fiery end to the world that, in certain prophecies they talk about? And I don't want to scare people about that because basically, I could misinterpret what I'm being, even though I've asked, I could misinterpret something. So I'm constantly trying to revamp with that spirit in the sky that's talked to me. So, I mean, we've had the 2012 thing. I mean, some aspects everybody thought, it could be the end of the world. Well, I knew it wasn't going to be the end of the world. But you see that when they talked about the Mayan calendar and you say, they wrote that in stone because they usually you can't, just said, let's just see what happens. Right. I could tell you, I knew with a date, we can't be, nobody can predict a date for the end of the world. It's even written in the Holy Bible.
Right.
Only God knows that date. For the day and the hour, we shall not know. But the season, we shall. So right now, we are, I have to touch on that, is that, we are seeing a lot of prophecies being fulfilled, not only from the Holy Bible, but from Mr. Michel Nostradamus and quite a few other prophetic prophecies.
Right, exactly.
Prophets down through the history. We could talk about the Pope, for instance, the one who wrote in Ireland from the 1100s, Saint Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote down every single Pope until they rewrote it, the last Pope, the end.
Right.
Now
they're still bringing his prophecies out now. Yeah.
I think I sent you an email either before the beginning of the year, and I had posted on my Facebook that I see the death of the Pope in the next year. I saw a change. I was told there will be a change in the papacy in the coming year of 2014. I mean 2013. I sent you the email. That's right, in 2012.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yep.
But I also said something else that would happen maybe in November. Now, there was a death in November, but that's not who I was writing about. Okay. It just so happens a prominent figure died. Nelson Mandela died.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could have been, I misinterpreted something, but I didn't get wrong about the Pope papacy being changed.
Right.
Because it did change. I said he would die only because I figured I don't always ask the full meaning. And I went with that, saying that the Pope would die in the coming year. Well, they had a transfer of popes in March, the third month, by the way.
Which, if you think about it, would be easily misread, because the only time you would have a change in the Pope is if one passes away. So I can see where that would easily misinterpreted.
But you see, I also found out at that time afterwards that there was another Pope earlier, back in the 1500s or something, that resigned. Or no, earlier than that. I think it's 600 or 900 A.D. When they had and he resigned. There was one other Pope that resigned. Other than that, they all died. So, yeah, Zita, like you said, we feel, it's very easy to misinterpret, thinking that they're going to die.
Right.
All right. So, but they did have a change. And everything that St. Malachi wrote about this last Pope, this current Pope fits that to the T.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote about that he would be some sort of his foot was from Italian, his bloodline. His bloodline was from Italy. His parents were from Italy.
Right.
When they moved to, where did he come from? Venezuela or something?
Yes, correct.
Some South America country?
Yep.
All right, and he's actually an Italian. And there's some other things that they wrote about. Anyway, let's get back to what I was writing about, where we were really talking about with the book. And certain things were taking place in my life, and with that visitation, I was asking also with that visitation, I was asking for information on Nostradamus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I go back to my office after the trip. I'm showing this few people in the office his picture, but I was also told about somebody who just came to work there that claims he's psychic. Now here's somebody. I'm going to meet somebody in my office that's psychic, and I proceeded to ask him, "Well, if you're a psychic, then read into me. Tell me what you see." And he proceeded to say, "I could only see one thing." And that's very, it just disturbs me that I can only see one thing. And that one thing is you're going to study on Nostradamus in the coming year.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
Nice.
how it unfolded, I write it in the book, how it unfolded, how during the coming year, I would be given a gift of a book on Nostradamus 3 times, 3 different books from the same family. They did not know that what I was talking about with this prayer. Nobody knew. I never discussed it with nobody. I kept it with myself, with the man I asked, and just watch history unfold at that point, see what happens.
Right.
Sure enough, I had something happen where I was picking up the newspaper every day in the morning on the way to work. Well, this one morning on February 1st of 9006. I didn't pick up the newspaper. I didn't buy it that morning. I'm in the office, and about 11 o'clock, a friend of mine comes into the office that works in the office. We became friends outside, and he drops off the morning paper to me. I said, "I thank you, Henry, but this is old news. What do I need it for?" Yeah. And it turned out, hold on for a second. I'm on a radio show. I'll call you back.
Well, that was short, sweet, and to
I love
point.
Click.
You go with your bad self.
I love it.
Oh, he'll get me good later on. He'll get me back.
I love it.
So it turned out that is that with this paper, my friend responded to me real fast. Like, why did he say it? He said, "Well, read it anyway. Maybe there's a message in it for you."
Yeah.
So I always open up the paper to the funnies right away because I like to have laughter in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't? I do that every time I look in the mirror in the morning, so I understand that.
And at that moment, I turned to the favorite comic of mine at that time to me was Mother Goose and Grimm.
Yep.
Well, I opened up the paper to the comic right away, and sure enough, Mother Goose and Grimm right there had something to say about Nostradamus.
Huh. Nothing like having it thrown in your face how many times?
Oh, yeah. But kind of funny that later that evening when I'm at home after work, the same guy that came to bring me the paper brings me a CD on a movie of Nostradamus.
Oh.
And it was a movie I've never seen because I've already seen 2 movies on Nostradamus. The Man Who Saw Tomorrow, and there was another one I saw on HBO or the History Channel or something. But this one stuck out the most. And we went out to dinner, and right next door was the video store. And I said, "Let's take a walk next door." And sure enough, the movie was there. I rented the movie. So that was 3 times I came across his name that day, and on the movie of the CD that my friend brought. And it would be in front of this guy 3 times. Everything, 3 all over the place. But what that movie, was about the Nostradamus' life. An actor played the role of Nostradamus. It was like similar to a documentary, but more of an acting out of a good movie.
Right.
And I have to say, they were really bold with how they portrayed Nostradamus and the time frame. Very good. But he said something. They had the actor say something towards the end of the movie when and it was just very bold, and I was like saying, wow. The young Nostradamus, his son in the movie, said to he had written a prophecy, and he said something like, you mean to tell me somebody's going to read that 500 years from now? And he said, to you, my son, for he who holds the key will understand the prophecies. For he, something similar to that. I don't know the full wording of it. I didn't care to remember. I wrote it down in the book, but it's to that degree that there'll be somebody 500 years later who will read that and understand.
Right.
And he who has has the key and understanding, I pray that he uses it wisely. So that was a little shocker to me when I heard that evening. And I'm asking God, I had asked God in that prayer with his visitation, am I a person to help the world understand something about prophecies about near future and help us try to prevent things that could take place? So with that, I'm like saying, with all that happening, I'm sitting back and I'm having fun with some of my friends, predicting things and saying this will happen and that will happen. And then I'm having some friendships come back into my life. And I had a friend who I write about. She brought me we had the Bible code involved.
Right.
Okay. In 97, I had that happen. I saw about the Bible code. My friend who brought me the Nostradamus thing took me to a movie in 1999. It was about a man who knew about the answer to the Bible code, how to unlock the code. I said, I didn't have seen this movie before.
Yeah, exactly.
But he had heard what I said that I could be able to do for everybody. So now it's time to see how make things click. All right. Well, how will it click? I just said we got to live each day as it comes. All right, because I don't push the buttons when I'm not told.
Right. Exactly.
I've tried a couple of times, but I got burned saying, "Oh, you gotta wait."
There you go. Yeah.
So and I'm like saying, okay, now all of a sudden, with the Bible code now in act, my friend, this high school friend, brings the CD into my life. We talked about how my name is in it. She knew Hebrew, and we found it very easily. And then things just rolled after that, and then all of a sudden I got told you're going to write a book on prophecy and parts of your life and things like that. I said, yeah, I'm going to write a book. You want me to write a book about God, prophecy, you, and everything else, whatever? I said, well, you know what? It would be nice to have a picture. Now, I lost that picture. We can't find that picture that I had at your visitation in 95.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Now, if I'm going to use that picture anyway, you couldn't use it, you see, because it was solid white. And in a book, you put a border around it, you're going to say, what is it?
It's a white, it didn't come out. Right, exactly.
Right, okay. So I'm like saying, okay. Now I need your picture. I need another picture. You're going to want me to write a book. I need a picture to put in there. Put that in.
You need the author's photograph.
I need a little bit more validation.
While you're at it, will you pose for me? Go get a haircut, trim your beard.
Can I have a picture of the Holy Spirit descending, please?
Okay, we need to go to our bottom of the hour break. So when we come back, we're going to go into how you got your picture taken, or his picture taken, and then how the book came about, and we'll talk about the book a little bit. So don't go away. You're listening to The Broader View on the Hazy Radio Network. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, it's Karen Frazier. I'm here with my co-host of Paranormal Underground Radio, Rick Hale.
Hi everyone.
We invite you to join Paranormal Underground Radio on the Hazy Radio Network to explore the unexplained every Thursday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific and other times in the flyover states.
Each week we talk with investigators in the field, researchers, authors, and experts about topics that include paranormal investigation, ufology, cryptozoology, and spirituality.
So please join us each Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for Paranormal Talk with great